We first sailed with a little Kool, K-O-O-L, cigarette boat, and our son David, we borrowed it from the Rogers and we sailed it on South Bar Lake. And David Cushing laid down in the boat when the waves were blowing all over the place, and would sail laying down in the boat. It was a little flat boat, you know, made out of styrofoam.
In South Bar? In
South Bar, and it's when we had a cabin up on whatever they call this in between the Aunt Mary's.
Yeah.
And we had sailed that for a couple of years on vacation, and then we bought a board boat that we sailed, and we took it up to State Park, Provincial Park in, well, the last time we sailed it up Provincial Park in Canada, and with the Indian guys, about 5 or 6 people got on that flat little boat so it wouldn't tip over, and we broke the mast. It was just a tubular mast. So then we graduated to this boat, and we bought it for $2,000, and it had been sailing out on Cass Lake, and the guy had cranked it over the dikes, whatever you call it, the water things on Lake St. Clair.
Yeah.
And that was after Tom Lotta went with us to pick out the boat. And so that was about, when Tim was a young man. And the first time we went to sail, Tim Lotta, we sailed off the beach at Metropolitan Beach.
Yeah.
And they went sailing away, and I was on the shore trying to park the car. So we sailed that off of Metropolitan Beach a few times, and then we bought a motor. But the motor we bought, then we rented a place at, what do they call that? Right across from the Chrysler Boat Club, Decker's Landing. And your mother and I went out there quite often, and it was on a little bitty island.
Yeah.
We'd take a little flat boat across a canal that was about maybe 30 feet across. By wire, you pulled it across to get to this little bitty island, and that's where the boat was. And we would sail out amongst the weeds and that, and then come off the North Channel. So we sailed out of there a number of years. Got in all kinds of trouble. One time we had it out of Kensington several times. And my mom and dad got on the boat one time, and that was the first time they'd ever been sailing.
Yeah. And
of course we had a lot of misadventures with the boat. One time we tried to launch it. We had a terrible time launching it. We found it was still tied to the trailer.
Let me do a little panorama here.
Huh?
Let me do a little panoramic shot here. Okay, what's some other good stories?
And another time, here I'm going to let this mast move a little bit.
Yeah.
And another time, we were sailing into the dock at Kensington. We came in on the wrong side of the dock, and the mast was laying up on the wharf. And as we would come in, everybody on the wharf had to run to keep from getting knocked over as we kept riding in. And we had it, and then up here, the first time we had it was at Little Fisher Lake. And Tim and Joe were sailors then. And we sailed, one time we sailed it all the way across from Fisher's, Little Fisher's Lake, which is right off of Big Glen, all the way to the boat thing on Big Glen. And we got there, and the boat was at the bottom, it was about 3/4 full of water. That's why it's taken so long to get there.
Yeah.
There was a rubber gasket down here on the centerboard, which was leaking water, and the whole thing was full of water.
Yeah.
And we fixed that. And another time on Big Glen, or Little Glen, the boat was acting real sluggish, and I opened up a little porch there, and water went shooting up.
Yeah.
It was full of water, and we had a terrible time getting it back onto the dock. The waves were coming up over the back end of the boat.
Yeah.
And
it looks like there's a picture of you from about 1958, 59 sailing a boat. Is it just, or does it just look like that?
That was with the Saulniers next door. And
Next door in Royal Oak, because you didn't know them before Royal Oak.
No.
Okay.
And they were our neighbors there.
Right.
And they were always sailing.
Yeah.
And they invited us one time, my mother and I. When you were real little.
Yeah.
That got us sailing. And then one of the stories there is you used to wear a little sailor hat when you were a toddler. And Bob Saulnier, in order to, it was a wooden boat, so what they did, and every spring they would fill it full of water out in the backyard, and so that the wood would swell and seal up all the leaks.
Yeah.
Before they put it in the lake, you know. So you were all full of questions of why you were filling the boat full of water.
Yeah. It just seems kind of productive, right? You're supposed to put the boat in the water dry.
Yeah. So there you was filling the boat up with water.
Yeah.
And what other misadventures did we have? Oh, one time your mother and I were out in a, I don't know what they call it, a 4 or 5 flag
windstorm. Yeah.
Winds out sailing out on Lake St. Clair, and we both huddled over the centerboard here, and the sails were all dragged in. But we made it in okay. See, the problem was, but it takes about an hour for us to get from Pleasant Ridge to the lake, to Lake St. Clair.
Right.
So you never knew till you got there what kind of winds you were going to have.
Right.
And it gets some pretty good winds on Lake St. Clair.
Yeah.
And Tim Latta one time raced a thunderstorm in with this boat. I scared the devil out of him.
Yeah.
And what other things we had happen? Well, you name it, we had it happen. That thing that fall off back there.